Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joy Lingerie, and I have a very special guest with us today. Um, I'm going to call him Lozana, but he's going to give his name to you right now. I welcome Lozana to Matured Musicians. Can you tell me your full name?
My name is Lasana Kane.
Kana.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yeah,
Yay!
Kane. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're doing good. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a very special story to tell us today um, about his music and about how he got to where he is today with his music. Before we start, I'm going to give a shout out to my sponsor, Luscious Moss Studio, which, as you all know, who've been listening for a while, is owned and operated by Chad Christ in Edgewood, Washington. He started out producing drummers and guitarists. And as time went on, especially after COVID, he began to move along. He produces my music at Luscious Moss Studio. It's very collaborative and creative environment. And if you have any needs in that area, you can certainly find him on Facebook under Chad Quist or Luscious Moss Studio. With that being said, you are now on the spotlight, Lasana. Can you begin to tell us, what your first experiences with music were and what kind of instruments and influences you had at the time?
Thank you very much. This is a wonderful time. I want to thank you for having me. But I
Our
want to start, yes, I want to start off by saying that, I came from Liberia, which is located on the west coast of Africa. And I was raised in a village where my entire family are all Muslim. And I was born blind in the year 1971. And growing up in my village, my father felt that being a blind person, he never thought I was going to be useful. He actually told my mother to get rid of me. And my mother said, "Why would we get rid of him? I believe that our son will become someone in the future." So it's something that I puzzle over, like, well, why my father want to get rid of me? I haven't, and I always thought to myself, I'm not the cause of my blindness. So why would he be angry that I'm blind?
Yeah.
Anyway, that went on for a while. My mother back and forth. My mother said, "No, I'm not going to do that to our son because I believe our son will be someone in the future." And so one day, my mother heard about a school for the blind in Liberia. Now, the school for the blind is located in Monrovia, which is the capital city of Liberia. And I was taken to the blind school where I met my friends. So that's where my educational process started. And so at the school, we would go to school, and then at the close of the school, my parents will not come that year. Now, the school for the blind actually was a boarding school that you stay, and then what will happen? Yeah, what will happen was at the end of the year, your parents supposed to come and pick you up. So because of the situation with my father, my mother decided that, okay, what I'm going to do is arrange to take my son to my side of the family. So sometime at the close of the school, my mother would come and pick me up, and then she would take me to my uncle's. So and that went on until in the year 1986. At the close of the school, my mother could not afford that year to come and pick me up. So there was this guy. He was actually an evangelist from a church in Liberia, and he will always come at the school, and he will always come and visit and you know preach the gospel. And so this time around, when he came, I was the only one left on the campus, and he said to me, "How come you are the only one here?" And so I said, "Well, I don't know where I'm going to go because my parents have not come." So he said, "Okay, let me go and talk to the principal and see, and I will get back to you." And so he went and talked to the principal, and he came back and he said to me, "Well, I just want you to know something, that since this happened, God lay on my heart. I'll, if you don't mind, I want to take you into my home, and you can be part of my family." And I was like ready, filled with joy, and I was like, wow. I was really moved that this man who I have not known would just come in from nowhere and say, God laid on his heart and he wanted to take me into his home to be part of his family. And I said, oh, yes, I would love to be with you. I would love to go and be part of your family.
I have a question, the
Yeah,
son.
yeah, go ahead.
Was he from Africa, or was he a
Yes,
missionary from outside?
he was a missionary from Liberia.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, he was a native born Liberian.
okay.
Yes. So he was a native, yeah. So anyway, he took me and I went and stayed with him. And so while we were there, he asked me, oh, do you know Jesus? And I said, no. So he said, do you want to hear the good news? I said, yes. And then he told me, I just want you to know that in spite of what have happened in your life, I want you to know that God loves you so much and he wants to do a special thing in your life. And he said, he will never leave you and he will not forsake you, even though your father might have done that to you, but you have a God that loves you. And he said, all you have to do is ask him to come into your life. And he said he will make a difference in your life. And so through our discussion, he asked me if I want to pray and ask Jesus to come into my life. And I said, yes. And so I prayed that day and asked God to come into my life. And after that, he took me to church. So I went on that Sunday morning. And one of the things I was really, really moved by is the music. I just loved the music that Sunday, and people were singing, and it was such a touching moment for me. And so I came back home and I prayed. I said, God, now you have saved me. I don't want to just sit around. I said, God, I love music. And I promised God, and I said, if you bless me with that gift, I'm going to use it to bless other people, to bring glory to your name. And for some reason, God just heard my prayer and He miraculously blessed me with the gift of music. Now, I just want to tell you, I've had no formal musical training. I have not had any training in music. So this is totally the gift of God. And since then, I've been using my gift for God. And so, right after that, at the school, when I came back to school, my principal heard me singing and he saw something in me and he said, I want you to start a group. So I said, okay, I'm going to start a group. So I started a cappella group in Liberia. And the group was called Inspirational Echoes of the Blind.
Ah,
And it was all blind people. So we have both women and men in the group. And we started singing. So from there, we started singing. But then unfortunately, 1989, a terrible civil war broke out in Liberia. And so everything kind of came to a standstill. So Liberia is a very small country. I will tell you, it's the size of Tennessee, so it's not very big. And during that war, there was 7 different rebel groups fighting against one another. So if you can imagine 7 rebel groups, and there was nowhere that was safe. And so my friends and I were living in a home for the blind. And when the war started, we started singing. There were bullets flying everywhere. So if you can imagine being a blind person, bullet flying over your head. But for some reason, God protected us from that bullets. And we'll go out in the street and we'll be singing. And people will ask, why you guys are singing? Why people are still fighting in the street? And we say, well, we have a calling. And I always encourage my friends and say, we'll still sing. We're still going to sing regardless of what is happening. And so we were in his home, and one day we got up one morning and we heard shooting going on in the compound. And the rebels have entered the compound, and one of them came to the door and knocked at the door. So we opened the door, and he said, now you guys all come out. I'm going to kill all of you today. And we begin to beg, and we said, why would you want to kill us? And so he began to, you know, advance his gun. So one of the things, being a blind person, we didn't know what was going on. And he said to us, give me 6 feet. So I wonder what he mean by give me 6 feet. And basically what he was saying was we should push back a little bit. And then he began to crack his gun. And then the next thing I heard was boom, his gun went off. And one of the things that came to my mind was my friends are dead because there was silent. and there was no sound. So I thought that my friends had been, I thought he have killed my friends. And so then after that, I heard some of my friends crying, and so he left us. And so right after that, I believe that it was an intervention of God, that God was right there and he saved our lives. But after that, we kept on singing. And then,
Wait, I lost something here.
yeah, go
You
ahead.
lost me.
Yeah,
So the part that I got was that the gun went off. You heard a fire. You thought your friends might be dead. You
yeah.
couldn't see what was going on.
Hmm.
So what was the gunfire? Was he killed, or did he kill something, or
No, I think we kind of found out that he just fired his gun in the air. So
ah
he never fired anyone, but I think he did that to scare us.
ah
Yeah, but it was very risky because they were killing a lot of people. So we just believe that, in my mind, I believe that, oh, he just shot one of my friends, or he shot a bunch of my friends.
right.
But then came to find out, we had another guy out with us that could see, and then the guy told us, oh, he just fired in the air to scare you guys. And so then one of my friends was crying, and then I found out that all my friends were safe. None of them were killed, but it was a scary time because,
Yeah.
if you think about rebel groups, they have no fear of anyone. They could kill anyone at that time. So, like I said, it was a scary time, but God
Did
was
he
there.
just leave? Did he just leave you there, or did
Yeah,
you
of course,
you
yeah,
guys couldn't see him leave, but did you know he was gone?
yeah. After that, we knew that he was gone. He left.
Mhm.
Yes, yep.
The power of prayer.
And then after that, in the year 1998, we were part of a church, and this church decided to send us to bring us to the United States on a visa.
Ah,
And so my friends and I came 1998 on a music visa, and then I was the lead singer of the group, and there were 10 of us. We have 4 guys that could see, and then 6 of us that was blind. And so we toured the whole United States. And one of the amazing thing and the privilege we had the privilege to sing at the Grand Ole Opry.
ah,
Yes, and that was really wonderful because we didn't know the Grand Ole Opry, and so people said, "Man, that's a very good place if you guys had a chance to sing there." So yes, we had a chance to sing for. It was a Mennonite convention, and we sang for almost like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like about 10,000 people there.
wow.
And yeah, they told us, yeah. So it was a very amazing time, and but I have a joke I want to share with you when we came to the United States for the first time. What happened was during our tour, we were touring in this van. I think it was a 15 passenger seater van, and 4 of the guys could see, like I was saying, 6 of us could not see, and so we had a road manager, and this guy was driving us, and every now and then the 4 guys would say to the road manager, stop the van. And so we were wondering, why would he tell this guy to stop the van? And so they told the road manager, there's deer on the road, we want you to stop the van. And so the road manager said, why you want us to stop the van? And so my friends said, well, we need to stop the car because we want to get that deer for dinner. And so the road manager said, well, we don't do that here in the United States. You guys don't worry. We have enough food. So it was funny because in Liberia, if you were driving a car and a deer was laying on the side of the road, that's a dinner for a whole family. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
yes,
Uh,
there's not a lot of food. So it was just something a little bit different to see, like bunch of deer, like deer, dead laying on the side of the road. And so the guys were just saying, let's pick up that deer for dinner. And so the road manager said, no, you guys don't need to worry, we have enough food. And so we all begin to laugh. So I just thought that was funny. Yes.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh. It
But
is and it isn't. I mean, that's pretty heavy stuff, really. That
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were going on this tour to
Mhm.
help children, wasn't that
Yeah.
the idea?
Yeah. Orphanage, because of the war, there was a lot of orphanage. there was a lot of orphans that lost their parents. So this church had an orphanage home, and so one of the things we're doing was touring and raising funds for these children.
What was that for, food or for everything?
Yeah, for food, shelter, keeping them, yeah.
So you go on. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you.
yeah, anyway, yeah. So the money was going to, at that time to raise funds for these children to take care of them, buying food for them, clothes, and then just keeping them in the place, because they lost their parents. So the church was just taking care of them, but the money was used to provide food and shelter. Yeah.
That's a story. That's a pretty heavy
So
thing
it
to
was
go.
it was a heavy time, yeah. But in the midst of it, God was good, and the fact that we were able to come to the United States was a blessing because actually what happened when we got out of there from Liberia, we're
Yeah,
like, yes, no more hearing the sound of gun and all those scary things that was happening.
yeah. Wow. So was it successful? Did you get the money that you needed to help?
Yeah, there were a lot of people when we toured, a lot of people helped, a lot of people gave money, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. So at this time now, was this when you came to America? Was that still the acapella group that you were with,
Yes, when I came to the United
or you
States,
got?
yeah, when I came to the United States, there were 10 of us first, and there was an a cappella group. So we sang, and then after that group ended, I started another group, and I was the lead singer, and that group was called African Gospel A Cappella, and there was six of us, the six blind guys, including myself. So I was the lead singer of that group, and then we started touring. We moved actually on the West Coast, so we moved to Vancouver, Washington.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because when we came, we were living in Texas. The 10 of us are living in Texas, and then we moved to South Carolina. But then after that group ended, the six of us moved to Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, is that how
So
you met Doug Cox?
yes, Doug
Ah,
Carr, we met him. We met him. I actually met him this year at the Clark County Fair. Yes, there was a fair going on at the Clark County. That's where I met Doug. But anyway, going back to what I was just saying to you, that six man a cappella group started singing, and then uh, I met my wife, and then once my wife and I got married, some of the guys wanted to do some different stuff, and so they all left, and then I started a solo career. So anyway, I've been singing for the past 37 years, doing a cappella. And so, but then after the six-man a cappella group, I started a solo career. And so I decided to switch over to um, instrument. And
aha.
so now during that time, because when I was doing the six-man a cappella group was all a cappella. But then when I started my solo career, I made started a CD where I did some collaboration with some different musicians here in the Poland area, and then that went on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I did two CDs with uh, some friends, and then after that happened, I decided to switch over and do a solo career myself. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm doing something called MIDI, where I'm playing all the instrument on the keyboard. So the guitar, the drums, and the string. I'm doing that all myself now. And this is I'm halfway through my 11th CD.
Wow.
Yeah, and so this is all instrument.
You
And
write this all yourself.
yes, I have original songs that I write. I do also song arrangement on some cover songs, but yes, I have done a lot of original songs. Yes. So
So where does this inspiration come from? I mean, obviously, I'm the higher power, but
mhm.
how is it? How do you go about writing this music? Is that something that just comes to you, or?
Yeah, it's something like I said, when after God gave me that gift, and so that's where everything developed from. So all these tunes just came into my head. So like sometimes what will happen is I'll be sitting down and I will sit and I'll have like thousands of different notes or tunes just in my head. And so the way I start to write my songs will be is I will hear all these different tunes and then I would figure out, okay, which one I want to start with. And then once I have the real notes that I want to do, then the next thing I would do is try to put words, lyrics to that
Right.
particular music. And then once I have the lyrics, then that's where everything starts from. So it started from hearing all these different music in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand that you also not just a keyboard, but the last picture I saw of you, you were
Mhm.
playing a Congo.
Yeah. I play percussion. I play uh, uh, African drumming. I do African drumming. So I do both vocal singing and African drumming also. Yes.
Yeah, I have a I don't know if you can. Oh, yeah, I can't see it, but maybe people
Yeah.
that are watching can see it. There's an African shaker that I have. It's in the corner here.
hmm
Um,
I actually have one in my recording studio here too. Yeah. I have
ah,
a, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, and I don't really know how to play it, but
Is that a god? Okay.
yeah,
So in Liberia, we call that Sasa. Sasa. Yeah. That's
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, it's it.
Yeah.
And I bought it. I bought it because I was making a song called "Warriors Like the Cherokee," which is an Indian tribe.
hmm
Uh, that came out of the eastern states, specifically the Carolinas,
Uh-huh.
North Carolina, and I wanted to make it sound like the music that the American Indians produce, especially in the Northwest here.
Uh-huh.
And so I saw that thing because I was listening to the Shakers in the song, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, this just what the doctor ordered." So I got it, and I gave it to the man who helps me produce, and he was able to play it and put it into the song.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
I had found out that it was from Africa, but like I said, I don't really know a lot about Africa or its music. So that was very intriguing. And I thought I'd ask you about it because you obviously know what
Yes.
it is.
Yes. It's called a Sasa, and we play that in Liberia. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it from Liberia or is it from somewhere else? Where did it first develop? Do you know?
Uh I won't know, but we make our own Sasa. We make that people
Ah,
make that in Liberia with the beads. Yeah. I
okay.
think, yeah.
All right.
Other countries have it too, yeah, besides Liberia. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Most of the African countries use it. Yes.
Okay. So now I'm really curious because
Yeah.
I've listened to your videos and I love them.
hmm
I like. I'm one for percussion. I play rhythm guitar, but I also do some percussion. I obviously that's not where I put all my talent, but um, intrigues me. So I've been listening to all these different things that come from different countries,
hmm
and of course I got this one. But I want to hear your music, and I want to hear what it's like for you.
Yeah.
So
So
I think we have it. Did you want to do some live first, or do you want to do your video, or how would you like to go
maybe I
about?
should let's how about let me do a live first.
All right.
Do a live first. I'll do
Now
a
I'm going to warn your helper there that your wife, that
uh,
I'm going to make this full screen while you're doing that. And
okay.
although you can't see me, you know what I mean. I can see you, so I know when you start and stop. So
Yeah.
go ahead and oops, I got something here that okay, got my way. All right, I'm going to let you go ahead and present your room and your music. So
Yeah. Okay. This first song is an original song, and this song actually is done in my dialect, in my African dialect. So I'm from the Madingo tribe, which is a very big tribe in Africa. And this song basically just talk about heaven, and it's a beautiful place. And so it's called Ajenen. That's why Ajenen is my band name. Ajenen means heaven. So I'm gonna do a song called Ajenen. Datwe Ajenen gonodyani, datwe Ajenen josudyani, datwe Ajenen gonodyani, datwe Ajenen josudyani, keleteji dun 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 dun, jangala teje, dun 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 dun, gata fama isayena. Ngetefama isayena o kujifwete nyangbeteje mwefateje o datwe ajene ngono yani datwe ajene josudiani datwe ajene ngono yani datwe ajene Josudia ni.
Ah, bravo. I, I get the chills when you sing that. I have I can somehow pick up on the vibe of that song. It's beautiful. Can
Thank
you
you.
tell me in my language, in English, what that means, what you were singing?
Well, I was just singing about heaven, and I was singing about in heaven there will be no blindness, there will be no sickness, there'll be no trouble, and it's gonna be a wonderful time out there. So yes, it's a song about heaven, how it's gonna be like, and we're gonna
You know,
see. Yeah.
sometimes to me, it feels like maybe this place is closer to the opposite of heaven, and it's we all have our journey,
Hmm.
and that journey takes different roads for all of us. But as a musician and a singer, the idea is to unite the world through music. It is a universal language,
Yeah,
and I
one
think
of the thing with my music is it have it doesn't matter who I come across, but everybody that have listened to this music have been really blessed. So it's I would say besides being African, gospel music is very uh universal because people around the world have listened to this music. So I love to bless people everywhere I go and just because that was one of the things. That was one of my goals that if I have this gift, I'm going to use it, to bless people. And so it's my goal to continue to do that. But yes, this music has been a blessing, really.
so. Have you got another song to share with us?
Yeah, maybe we can go to the video.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, we'll
and
do that.
yeah, we'll do Zacchaeus, which is this is more a cappella, uh, and so Zacchaeus is a interesting song that I wrote uh, about a guy that was very short and he had to climb to the sycamore tree. So this is it, Zacchaeus.
Okay, so we're going to have some help turning that on. I can't do it from here. All I can do is
My wife,
remove it.
my wife can do it from here. Yeah.
Okay.
Poetry. I want to talk with you, sit with you, save your soul. Down, 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 Zacchaeus. Come
Not
down.
showing up.
Da, 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 da.
It's not showing up in this end. Uh, I think I just, let's see, add to stage. There we go.
All
All
right.
right.
Here we go.
From that day, salvation came to Zacchaeus. If you are wishing for a change, Jesus is waiting. He's ready to make that change in your life. All you have to do is open out your heart and tell him in. You see, Zacchaeus got the salvation. Well, you say, yeah. Jesus said, you came to seek and save the lost. You came to seek and save the lost. Open up your heart. You came to seek and save the lost. Oh, you came to seek and save the lost. Oh, yeah. Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus, yeah. Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus, yeah. Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus.
Lovely. So have we got another one in there that we can see?
Yeah, yeah. There's another one here. This one is it's a fun song. It's called Shatido, and so I want to play this one for you. This was a one I did just this year in Longview. So it's a very fun song. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, sit on in from evil China. Keep out the devil. He's hungry for also to learn. Chapiro, keep the devil in the night. And without your holy armor, Chapiro, keep out the devil. He will eat you for dessert. Chapiro, you better listen to the shot. You don't keep out the devil. Shot, you don't keep the devil in the night. Shot, you don't keep out the devil. But let the candle, everything is alright. Yeah, let the candle, everything is alright. Shot, you don't keep out the devil. Shot, you don't keep the devil in the night. Shot, you don't keep out the devil. Let the candle, everything is alright. Yes, let the candle, sing your words. Let the candle, everything is alright.
Bravo. All right. Any more?
Yes, I have one more here, and
Okay.
this
Super.
one, yeah, this one,
Happy music. That's happy music.
yeah, this one is called Blessed Assurance. Yeah, there you go.
Their sound isn't coming through
It's
on that
going to
one.
come here soon. Yeah, yeah, you should like this one. This is a very good one.
Of the Spirit, washing this blood. This is my story, friends. This is my song, my song. This is my story. Yeah. I'm praising my Savior all the day long. Yeah. I'm praising my Savior all the day long. Perfection, perfect delight, vision of rapture that bursts from my sight. Injustice standing break from heaven, and comes of mercy with us at the time. Born of the Spirit, washing.
Yeah, so that's just a little sample of my music there. Yeah. So what I
Yeah.
do is I have originals, but then I do also some cover songs, and so I like when you heard Zacchaeus, it was a little bit of a blues there with a cappella, and then I have like Shatido, what I did collaboration with some different people. So yeah, so my music uh is over the years been good. Where I do a lot of collaboration, but then also, like I said, I do a lot of solo music too. Yeah.
All right. I love it. I don't know how many people we have watching this, but for those people who don't watch it, they've missed a good thing. And there's a lot of soul in that music and in that beat, and to me, it's happy music. It
Thank you.
sounds happy,
Thank you.
and we need a lot of happy right now.
Yes, we do.
Uh, so you're still living in Vancouver.
Yes, I live.
And I noticed there was a big Ferris wheel. We have one of those in Seattle. Was this in Portland that you were filming that, or where was the?
The last one you just did that was filmed in Clark at the Clark County Fair.
In the what county
At the
fair?
Clark County Fair.
Is that in Oregon?
No, Clark County Fair in Battleground.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I've been there. All
Yeah.
right. I don't know the counties. I'm up here in the north. I live in King County in Washington. So,
Yeah,
uh,
Clark County, yeah, in Vancouver, yeah. So, but anyway, that's where that was happening. And then the song before that was done in Longview, Washington. Yeah.
Was that at a church or
Yeah.
was it
Yeah. That was at a church. Yes.
and the first one?
The first one, Zacchaeus, I think it was done at Poland. Yes, it was done in Poland.
Where?
Portland, Portland, Oregon.
Oh, Portland.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, it was done in Portland, Oregon. Yeah,
All
actually,
right.
actually, I had Portland, Oregon because there was Portland, me. So, but
Okay.
I just said to you Portland, but yes, it's Portland, Oregon. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what was the theme of the three songs? Were there three different themes, or was there one theme through the whole thing, or what exactly? I couldn't understand what you were saying. I
Like the first
apologize.
one, like the first one, Zacchaeus was done in Poland because all these three songs were done different places, but the main thing is just glorifying God and encouraging people. One of the thing is giving people hope. So like for example, like the first song Zacchaeus talk about the story of this guy who was a tax collector, and
Ah,
he cheated people all the
yeah.
time. But then when he saw Jesus, his life changed, and then
Yes.
what he stole from people, he gave them back double portion of what he took from them. And so it just say that no matter what you have done in your life, because Jesus came to seek and save the lost, so you can still come back, you can still turn your life around. And so that's what that first song just talk about. And then the second one, which is Shatido, is just talking about, because we don't, the devil is causing a lot of trouble in the world. So the song is a fun song, just saying, shut the door, keep the devil out. We don't want the devil here, we want him out. So that song just saying, shut the door, keep out the devil, let the candle, and everything's gonna be all right. Yeah. And then
All right.
yeah, and then the third song that was Blessed Assurance, which is just talking about, Jesus being our blessed assurance. No matter what happen in our life, we can still have that assurance. Yes.
Right. Talking to you and listening to this music, it's almost non-denominational. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but
Yeah.
non-denominational.
Yeah. How about non-denominational? Yes.
Yeah, it's sort of universal. I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to get a lot of non-Christian listeners, but music is music and
Yeah.
has a
Yeah.
message.
Actually,
And
that there are people who are not Christians still love the music. So my goal is, it doesn't matter whether you're Christian or not. I still want to give that message of hope through my music.
right,
There's still hope in this world, that all you have to do is just trust that God is there in your situation, in the midst of your situation, that He's still there. So that's why my message is in this music is for the whole. Because, and the reason why I sing this music, because of what God done for me. Because when I think about the gift that He gave to me, like I will tell you in my testimony, I couldn't do all of these things without Him not giving me this gift. Like I said, so I have had no formal musical training. This is very, very all the gift that God have given to me. And so I said, I'm going to use this gift to be a blessing, because He has blessed me. So I want to be a blessing.
yeah, I'd like to tell you a little bit about about my music. I'd never written a song before COVID, and I was urged by some friends to write.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these songs just come out of nowhere and hit me. I mean, I just sit down and write the whole thing in 20 minutes. And then it takes a lot longer to produce it because I produce the music, differently than
Uh-huh.
I think you do yours. But if I remember the Christian Bible, there is a place in there where we're all given a gift, and what we do with that gift. I think there's a part in the Bible, in the Christian Bible, that says, you don't hide that. You don't put a basket over your gift. You expand your gift and you share it with the world because this has been given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I believe that. I truly believe that there's some power, some higher power, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter to me. Uh, but if there is something working in the world, and it comes out through music. And there's many ways, but music is the way that I can relate to this.
Yes, yes,
So we're kind of covered the music, but I like to know how people can find your music and how they can listen to the stuff that you have out there. Is there a way for them to? Is there a website or something that allows uh, people to figure out where you are and go see you?
yeah. They can go to Spotify. They can also listen. They can listen on iTunes. They can also Google Ljenneh, which should be I think showing on the screen there. They can Google that, and they'll be able to listen to my music. Also, if they'll need information, they can contact me on my website, which is IJENNEH.wordpress.com. So Ljenneh.
I put that out there too. I put it
Good.
up.
Good.
Yes.
So Ljenneh.wordpress.com. That's my website. They can go on that, and that will give them more information and places that I'm performing. But also, if they want to get in contact with me, they can contact me there if they want me to come. So if anyone have an event and they want me to come and play, they can contact me on the website also. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And do you have anything coming up? What have you got in the future that you're working on and working towards?
So right now I'm working on a new CD right now on a new project. Like I was saying, I'm halfway through my 11th CD. So and this is where I'm doing all the instrument myself. Because before then, when I started doing instrumental, I have collaboration. But now, because I'm working with something a little bit interesting, which is the MIDI keyboard, and the MIDI keyboard is very amazing because you can do all the instrument
On
and
the
stuff.
keyboard.
Yeah, and I have my recording studio. So my wife and I work together, and she's my engineer here with me, and
Right.
she helped me. And so I'm working on the keyboard. So the MIDI keyboard, where I do all the instrument. And so I'm excited about this new CD coming because I'm doing all the vocals and all the instrumentals. So it's gonna be really good. So I'm excited about it. And
Right.
yes,
I want to say a little bit about that keyboard thing that you were just talking about.
yeah.
In the song Warriors Like the Cherokee, I had a man who's an American Indian, but from the Southwest area, and his name is Peter Ali, who actually goes to colleges and different places to
Hmm.
show people how to make the flutes that the Indian music is produced with.
Uh-huh.
And my producer, in order to put that part in the song, he played the keyboard, and the keyboard sounded so much and so good and so much like a flute
Yeah.
that I had to tell Peter I wasn't going to hire him after all. There was a lot of conflict as far as he was so far away and the cost of him coming down, etc.
Hmm.
But we used this keyboard to play it, and it really sounds good. It's just
Yeah.
amazing what the
Yeah.
keyboard.
Yeah, it's amazing what technology they have out there now. So it's I'm really happy. I'm excited about it, and it's gonna be a really good project coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds exciting. And you just learned to play the keyboard, or have you played it all along, or how did this get
Uh,
introduced into your music?
how do I say this? I one day I sat down in front of the piano and just started playing chords, and because as I told you, I was hearing music in my head, and I thought, how can I do that? So I started, putting it on the piano. So I just started playing piano. And one day my wife walked in and she said, "Oh, you can play the piano." I said, and then she said to me, why don't we try to do a MIDI? Because what happened was I was collaborating with a lot of the guys playing I would tell these guys like, hey, I want you to play the bass this way, and I want you to play the guitar this way. And then one of the guys, they'll play, but they never play to the way I want them to play, And so one day my wife and I was sitting and she said, well, I saw you playing it on the piano. Why don't you transfer what you've been playing into MIDI? And I said, well, I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do it. And she said, you can do it. So she kept encouraging me. And so we bought this program because before then we had Pro Tools, which was a software that you record
Right,
with.
right. I'm
Yeah,
familiar with that.
yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so then we got this the MIDI keyboard, and then I started from there, and so I started playing it, and then all of a sudden it just picked up from there. Like, wow! And I told my wife, "You were right." So then and we started just putting the music down and putting the drum and the bass and you know all the different instrument down, and it sounds so good. And so I'm really really excited. Yeah.
Yes. I don't usually ask personal questions, and you don't have to answer it if you feel it's objectionable. But
But
how did
that's
you meet this lovely woman?
oh, that's a good question. I love to answer that question. Well, the way it happened was she actually went to Liberia in 1997, and during that time, I was part of a home for the blind. And so they had a home for blind men. And so I was part of that home. Remember, I told you about my group. So my group was living in that home. And
Yeah.
so when she came to visit and adopt some children from the orphanage home. She came along with 8 other families. And so we met and we just spoke, but I had no idea she was going to be my wife. And so in 1998, when I came to the United States, in touring with my group, we came to the West Coast, and then we would tour, and then we stopped to her place, and then she would host us. And so after that tour ended, then we started another group, and then I asked her, "Can you be our road manager?" And she accepted. So she was taking us around, and then I started praying because somewhere down the line I said to myself, I have to get married someday. And so I started praying to God and said, God, I pray that you give me a wife. And then God showed me that she was going to be the one.
Ah,
And so I proposed to her and she accepted. And 2005, December 3rd, we got married. So we've been married
10
for,
years.
yeah, we've been married for 19 years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, almost 20 years.
Yeah,
I
almost.
can't
Yep.
count.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. So I love to tell that story because once that happened, then, my I started my solo career from there. I started singing, and then my wife learned to be an engineer, and so she been helping me. So we work together. We write songs together, and we just enjoy making music.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. It's kind of like us, my husband and I. He supported my music from the beginning. In fact, encouraged me to do it. So
yeah,
if you have a spouse
yes.
that's for your music
It is a
and
blessing. Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
that's a blessing.
yeah.
I do have a comment from one of our viewers here.
Mm-hmm.
James is a Cherokee Indian, and he's another tribe too. But
Uh-huh.
sorry, James, I can only remember one tribe at a time. And he helped me get the drum beats for my Warriors Like the Cherokee. And
Uh-huh.
I didn't know exactly what to put there. I mean, I had an idea, but I didn't have it fine tuned. And James happened in my life, and I asked for his advice. And he also is one of the additional singers on the CD. CD on the recording. It's not a CD yet. I haven't had it produced for a CD.
Okay.
So, hi James, and I'm glad you're here, and you have something in common uh, with with Asana when it comes to drum beats. So, I'm glad you came in and tuned in. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, from here, I do want to ask you to keep us updated on matured musicians if you can. I'd appreciate it so we know where you're at and we don't lose touch with you. And that's a good way for the people that are going to be listening, if they haven't already, to find out where you're going to be and to support your music as well.
Yes, thank you so much, and
Yeah,
definitely we'll be in touch. And I've been so blessed and having this interview, and
thank
hope
you.
that people were able to listen to the story and just to always know that there is still hope in a situation. And that's why for me my life have changed, because of everything. And I always tell people in closing is that if I haven't gone through the rejection I went through with my father, maybe I won't be doing music today. So I'm happy that actually that happened because of that. That make a big change in my life, and I'm happy for what I am today, and just thank God for just blessing me with this gift of music.
Amen. Yes. So we do. I'm not letting you go yet. You got 10 minutes, so
Yeah,
I want to probe your mind a little here before we go.
yes.
Um, did you, you know, you've had a lot of bad happen, a lot of good happen in
Hmm.
your life. It's been a real journey for you. And I'm wondering, did you ever perform where you had that aha moment or that moment where you knew for a fact that this was the right thing to do and you could feel the presence of the creator
Hmm.
of the inspiration and the music?
Oh yes, I mean, I've been many times, many places. I mean, when God gave me that gift, and I started a group, I was ready because when we went places and ministering to people, I was really touched the first time I started singing. It was like, wow, it was a beginning. Like even hearing all these tunes and all these different things in my head, like how this happen? I never knew, 1 million years in my life that would really happen. I would be doing what I'm doing now. So that was a really big beginning for me because, like I said, back home when I was a Muslim, it was all calling people in the mosque to pray and do all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, when I started doing actually, when I after I got saved and I asked God, for this gift of music, and then He gave it to me, and I started hearing all these beautiful tunes in my head right away. I started hearing everything, and it sounded so wonderful, and I like, and then even putting it out and singing for the first time, I just feel that in my heart that this is where God want me. This is where He want. This is what He want me to do. And from that day forward, I started continuing doing what He called me to do. Yes.
Okay, and then the other on the flip side of that,
Hmm.
like a coin, there's a head and a tail.
Hmm.
Uh, did you ever have any bad experiences with your singing that you had to work on to get past, or has it just been smooth sailing?
Well, I don't want to say smooth sailing. I mean, as a musician, you want to be better every day,
Yeah.
So sometimes this is funny, but sometimes on stage, even there's only one person that know when I make a mistake, and that is my wife,
Yes.
and that's a good thing. I'm glad she's the only one. And but sometimes on stage, sometimes we'll be singing, and sometimes I'll miss a word, a lyrics in the song, and I would try to do something in a way that it just fit. I would come up with something on stage that would just
Right.
fit in there. And after that, my wife would say, "Hey, I noticed something happened there," and we'll be laughing, at one another. She'll tell me that. But I'm glad that she's the only person because, and I know within myself when that happened. But yeah, there have been times that have happened, and there have been times that I will play certain thing on certain note. And I was like, no, that doesn't sound good. I have to change it. And
Yeah.
I'm the person that I want to make sure that it just sounds good. I don't want
Yes.
to just put anything out there. So yeah, there have been times that have happened. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of something that we started with.
You see what? Oh, another thing. My wife just told me something. I want to tell you another joke, and that was one time I went to an event. And what happened when I sing beyond track. So I have a track. My wife run the track for me. And so she put a track on and the music was going on. And all of a sudden the track stopped.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then when that happened, I started singing. So and then I told the people, I said, track, no track, I will continue to sing. So I just started singing a cappella with my drum, and there was no track, but I could still continue with the song. But it was kind of a little bit strange that the track just stopped on me. Like, but that's why you gotta. But one of the things that helped me is because I've been doing a cappella music for a very long time. It was easy for me to be able to catch up. But sometimes in that situation, if you don't know what you're doing,
Right.
you'll be very confused on stage. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I've never had anything quite like that happen,
And,
but
and actually, the people gave me standing ovation when that happened.
oh, really,
Yeah,
there was a purpose.
yeah. The fact I was still continuing singing with the track stopping. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have quite a sense of humor. When we first started talking, I said, I'm having a real hard time with your name. I'm not used to the African names and the, the way you pronounce them, etc. And he said, oh, you can just call me lasagna.
Yes,
It's lasana.
yes.
So, you know, so um, when you move forward with as you're moving forward with your music, do you
Hmm.
have a goal? Do you have, I mean, obviously you're making another album.
Yeah.
So, but beyond that, have you any thought of where you want to go, where you want to be maybe in anywhere from 1 to 5 years from now?
Well, there's there's one thing I want to do, and that is I want to continue making music until I can't sing anymore.
Tell
That's
you
my
what,
goal.
I'm sorry, and tell
I,
you what.
I want to continue making music until I can't make music anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where I am. Moving forward is all just making music, encouraging people, and just but music is going to be my life until I stop, until I reach to a place that I can stop. I can actually until I reach to a place that I can't make music anymore. But until then, this is what I'm going to be doing throughout my life.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
And
my.
one other question we really didn't go into, but I
Uh-huh.
often ask on my broadcasts about COVID.
Yeah,
During COVID, excuse me, you were in the States, correct? You were in the
yeah,
United States and
yeah,
living in Vancouver.
yeah. I live in Vancouver, Washington. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, it was kind of frightening in the beginning. I was sick. I didn't know what I had. Yeah, I had COVID, and that was early on before they announced what it was, and they kept asking me if I've been to China recently, and I
Hmm.
was like, why are they asking? This makes no sense to me. Well,
Hmm.
eventually it came out, but a lot of artists have experiences because the demand for artists went down because they
Oh
didn't
yeah.
want that to be
Oh yeah.
spread.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a witness to that because when the COVID started, because what happened was my wife and I have gone to Grants Pass, Oregon, and that I didn't know that that was going to be my last concert before the COVID came, and we had a very big concert at that night. It was a Friday night, and we had that, and then we spent the Saturday, and then Sunday we did another concert, and then we came back, and then when we came back, the COVID whole COVID thing started, and since when I started, everything kind of dropped. I was not doing any music, right? I was not really going. But one of the good things that happened during that time, during COVID, instead of since I couldn't go out, it gave me an opportunity to go back in the studio and finish a CD that I was working on. So I was able to finish that project. So I'm like, all right, so I can go out. I'm gonna just finish this project I'm working on. So I was able to finish that particular project during COVID. Yeah, yeah. Keep
You-
myself busy. Yep.
You're so full of hope. I'm pretty sure that you didn't get too concerned about it. Uh,
No.
I was. I didn't know it was going to go on because I'm vulnerable. I'm vulnerable because I'm old,
Mm,
and and I have I have some issues
mm,
that create issues with my immune system. So I
mm.
didn't know what was going to happen, and
Yeah.
I
In
don't
fact,
know.
during the COVID, one of the things I was praying for COVID to stop so I can be able to go out again because
Yeah.
as a musician, like that's how for me that's how I want to make income, and so it
Yeah.
was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
man, how long this gonna go on? And
Yeah.
so I mean we got it too, but we got better, but it was still like I hope this don't go on too long. Yeah. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, I don't make money at any of this, so I do this for pretty much free, and I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. And I didn't have that worry, but I did have the worry about staying safe and keeping other people safe. Like a lot of people don't want to wear masks, etc. But I took that pretty seriously, and
Mhm.
I took the shots seriously to get that protection. But it
Mhm.
was not an easy time, and everybody had their own struggle. I
Yeah.
started writing music to keep from going nuts. And sitting here doing nothing was very hard. But
Yeah.
we all got through it, and now it's back again. I
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
is coming back into the United States, and they're already talking about putting tests out there. So it's really important to stay safe. And so, with that, I guess we'll close. I've just hit an hour. I want to thank you so much for sharing your life. And I do want you to come back at some point. And when this album gets done, if you need someplace to put it so people can listen to it and promote it, you could just contact me. And I probably will contact you in 6 months anyway. But if you want it sooner to promote your album, you've got it. You just let me know.
Thank you so much for arranging this interview. I really appreciate it, and we'll
You're
be in
very
touch. And thank you again.
All right. Well, goodbye. And well, I'm not going to say goodbye until later.
All right. Until later.
All right.
Good.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye.
Well, that's it for me today. Coming up, I have on Monday, I have some medical issues that need to be attended to. You all know that I've been limping a lot and my knees have gotten bad. So I'm going to take the next 2 weeks. I'm going to have to find different ways to treat this issue, and hopefully I'll find a short of surgery because I will not do surgery. So for the next 2 weeks until after, I think I'm going to look at my calendar here because the next date that I'll be giving interviews is going to be after the 11th. So I'm thinking either Monday, the 11th of May, if I can get anybody on this show, if there's anybody around. I'm getting kind of low here, but I got a couple weeks to look for guys. So let's see, where's my calendar? Why is it when you try to find something on a phone, you never can? So October. So I'm not going to do anything from today until the 7th or the 14th. So I won't be back until the 14th of October. And my husband's birthday is on the 2nd. Mine's on the 6th of October. So that's a good time to celebrate. Take times out to repair mentally and physically. And I'll see you all back on the 14th of October. If you know of anybody or you'd like to be on Mature Musicians and be interviewed, let me know and I'll accommodate you. So till then, stay safe and thank you for listening today. And thank you so much for our guest, Asana, today. Bye, everybody.